Hey guys, welcome to the Color Me Mike podcast. So just a quick disclaimer up here at the top. Anything said during this podcast only reflects on me and or the guest. Sonity has nothing to do at all with anything that's being said here. Sonity is just a cool boba milk tea shop in Fremont, California that is kind enough to let us record the podcast here at their shop and kind enough to hook us up with some boba milk tea drinks. So everybody just chill and enjoy the episode. So have you done a podcast before?
Yeah, but I'm not with camera.
Yeah, you can just look right here.
Okay, I'm like, do I have to be like, hey?
You're gonna be a big ham just playing to the camera the whole time. So you should know then. Just keep it about a fist away from your mouth.
Okay.
That's confused. You can be. So here you go. I got you a little bowl.
Fist.
And
Thank you.
If you want to try the coconut pudding, it's actually really good. And I'm not just saying that because they're hooking it up and they're letting us shoot here. It really is good.
How do I get some of this out of here?
Hey, just use your spoon, get some of that out of there. Yeah. So,
all right.
Do you want to go by Miss Ninja or do you want to go by your actual name?
I can go by Miss Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would go
That's
by
like your performer name, right?
Yeah.
But I see you at the mics, you're going under your actual name.
Okay, so it's because when I sign up, it has my name on it, and then I keep forgetting to tell people to introduce me. Yeah, so they just put me on there. And I'm like,
I thought, is their stand-up persona is different or something?
No.
Yeah, feel free. You're not going to break that. Maneuver it any way you want.
Okay.
Okay, so Miss Ninja, well, is it because of your Japanese background, the whole Miss Ninja thing?
Yeah,
Miss Ninja Sama.
You're right.
Yeah, I studied Japanese for 3.5 years.
So what happened was I was working at a rental car place, and then they all came up with this nickname because one, I'm Japanese, half Japanese, and then the other one because I'm black. And then the alternate for the N-word was ninja. So they just was like, ninja.
Hilarious.
Yeah, so hilarious. Then it got to a point where I would have customers that would say, the front desk told me to come meet Miss Ninja. And I'm like, okay, I'll show you to your car.
You kind of are a ninja because I was looking at your Instagram, depending on how you fix yourself up, you can definitely be more on the Asian side or more on the black side. You're convincing in both.
Yeah, I've been hearing that a lot too.
Which is unusual.
Yeah.
Because usually, the half breeds, as I like to call them, the half and halves, right? They're clearly half and half. Mm-hmm. But you could convincingly be all Asian or
right,
depending on how you fix yourself.
Yeah, and then I think my Asian features are kicking in a little stronger as I get older too.
Really?
Yeah, my aunts keep saying that you look so much more Asian now that you're getting older. I'm like,
For instance,
what? I'm starting to notice that I really starting to look like my mom a lot. When it comes to certain hairstyles or something like that. And then I've actually had some people that ran into me after high school. A few years later, they're like, I thought you were just some Asian girl. And I'm like, no, same girl, man.
Do you look more like your mom or your dad?
Actually, it seems like I look more like my mom.
Really? So your mom's pretty beautiful then.
Thank you. Yeah. I hear that a lot when I get out there. And I'm like, you look so much like your mom, and which is really rare to hear in the Asian community. For them to say I look like an Asian person because, but the family members, my uncles and things like that, they're like, oh yeah, you look like your mom a lot.
I know your mom lives in Japan?
Yeah, she does, yeah.
Okay, so what's the communication like between the two of you? I'm getting right to the deep stuff right away. There's no warm up. Let's get right into the personal stuff.
Thank God for Facebook Messenger because now she doesn't have to use the calling card, and then we could do FaceTime.
Calling card? How old are you?
Man, I'm 32, man.
People don't even know what a calling card is these days. All right, let's see how old you are.
She was like, oh, it's so expensive.
You know what 1-800-COLLECT?
Yeah. And then we were actually talking about popcorn the other day, where you could call and then find out what time it was. I was like, dang.
That still reached your age range.
Yeah, it did. And we were just calling it for no reason. I didn't have a cell phone, so we were just
popcorn, that takes me back.
Yeah.
So you know about a Star 69 too.
Mm-hmm. Which I tried it, and it doesn't really seem like it's a thing anymore. No. It's a cell phone now. Everybody has a phone on them.
Oh man, I remember when that Star 69 feature first came out. It's like, well, I guess the fun's over now.
Right, exactly.
People just call you back.
Prank calling is over unless you do Star 87.
You ever get into prank calls?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Heck yeah. So actually, I did it for a long time, as a matter of fact. When I think I was 22, when I went into the car rental spot, there was a lady I knew how to mimic her so well that I actually called in sick for her. And then she came into work and everybody was confused. And then like I would talk to her in her voice when she talks to me, and she's like so oblivious to it. And I'm like,
because we don't know what we sound like, right?
No.
Like what I hear in my head, it sounds like this deep baritone, sexy voice. And then I see myself on camera. It's not even close. It's like, oh my God, that's what I sound like.
That's the thing. Like, I feel like my voice is deep, but then like, you know, when I hear it and it sounds like wah, 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 and I'm like, oh, turn it off. It's
You got a nice deep. You know what's nice about your voice too is you got that raspiness.
Well, actually,
to it.
it's been like raspy for like 2 months, and I don't know why.
Oh, so it's only a recent thing.
It's only a recent
It's
thing.
only
like
for the
it
whole
hasn't,
entirety that
right.
I've known you. Let's
Which
keep
is
it up
crazy,
there.
and I don't
Great.
know why it's been like that. So karaoke's
smoke?
been out of the situation. Not really. It's rare. It's a rare situation for
That's
me.
interesting. Just the past 2 months.
Yeah.
I think it's great. I mean, my wife knows this. I've always loved like raspy voices, especially like singing voices.
Yeah.
That have that little raspiness to it. Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. It's a great
So
quality.
I do a lot of karaoke, but it's been kind of out of the question lately.
Yeah. What are your jams on karaoke?
Man, my favorite people to go to is Adele.
Oh, you can bust out Adele.
It's for some reason hers is easier because I do better with longer ranges. And then Tamia. But anything in
Tamia.
between,
You don't
like,
hear a lot of people talk about Tamia these days.
really? Yeah.
No,
They don't talk about
To be
her.
fair, she hasn't had she hasn't been played on the radio in a
Yeah.
long time.
She
But
hasn't.
back when I was in high school,
She was
in
the
love with
jam.
Tamia. Oh
She
my
was
God.
gorgeous, you know.
Yeah, I was in love with her.
That was my jam.
Yeah, she's fine. What Tamia song do you sing?
So my favorite one for her is "Stranger in My House." That's a hard one though.
Yeah,
It's a
I'm
hard
big on
one.
Who Do You Tell? You know
Huh?
that one? Who Do You Tell?
Oh yeah. See, I like "Officially Missing You." That one was cool.
Oh, that takes me back.
Yeah.
That's my high school days. Officially missing you.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
And I can't do it right now, and that's so sad.
What about Adele? Which songs do you sing for Adele?
For her, my favorite is what is it? If I forgot what it's called.
Oh, I know. It's like this when you get put on the spot like that, right? Like
But
I know.
I listen to it so much. It's crazy. I liked is it Hello?
Yeah, Hello's a good
Yeah.
one.
That one, I like doing that one. And then
her most famous one is probably what's that one?
I like Rumors.
Never mind, I'll find someone like you.
Yes. Someone Like You.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, and then that song is one of my top favorite
Yeah,
things.
that's a
Like
great
I would like try to harmonize it
Yeah, it's
with
a
it in
great
the car.
song. No, it's a great song. You know what's funny is I really didn't dig that song at 1st.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this video came out where she was getting interviewed and she was telling the story about that song.
Oh
And then
yeah.
she just performed it in her house, but it was really like a stripped down version of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when I really fell in love with that song, that stripped down version. I was like, oh yeah, that's a great song.
She has a gorgeous voice.
Oh, I think she's gorgeous in general. Even
Yeah.
before she lost the weight, I always found her to
I
be
know.
very beautiful.
She just got that face.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
serves
But
first.
it's a lot of makeup, though. I mean,
Yeah.
I've learned, over the years to be very suspicious
is,
of women
yeah.
that wear a lot of it. That makeup can do a lot.
It can.
Yeah.
It really, really can. And like, sometimes I'll do like music videos and stuff like that. And then I don't know how to put on like the dramatic version of makeup.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You don't really need much. That's the thing.
What? I just don't know how to do it. I would like to be razzle dazzle.
Really?
You know what I mean? But right now I could do maybe about a Salt Bay amount, like quick.
I'm not a big fan of women with tons of makeup like that. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, you see my wife. It doesn't
It's-
look like she has anything on.
No,
It's
yeah,
very
she
basic.
just maybe she cute without it. You
Yeah,
know what
that's
I
what
mean?
I'm
Like
saying.
they always say, like men always like like people that's cute in person. You know what I mean? And then they like to keep the BBL bodies and like the super makeup for Instagram. They still like it, but it's not really for their personal everyday.
Yeah, like I said, because I've been led astray before, for sure. And you wake up, you're just like sitting in the corner of the bed, like,
Right.
I got like that sinking feeling in my chest. Yeah, I mean, I am superficial, but that's part of the formula. I mean, anyone who says that physical looks don't have anything to do with it, they're lying.
No.
Of course, it has something to do. We all have different standards.
Right.
It has something to do with it.
No, it has a lot to do with it.
Yeah,
We'll be sitting there lying if we don't at least be like, okay. Even if you weren't attracted to him, most of the time the story is like, well, after so many times when he made his attempts, and then he became attractive to me.
Yeah.
So it's not like it was just like, oh, I like you, and then they find him not attractive first.
What do you learn since you brought that up? I'm curious because
Mm-hmm.
is it possible to get out of the friend zone with a girl?
I think you can, but it's not very common.
Yeah.
And then I would say I feel like it could happen, but 9 out of 10 times, if it does happen, most of the time it's probably going to be on some what is it called? Rebound.
Yeah, because thing is, getting out of, like you said, getting out of the friend zone, it's not as if it happens overnight, right? It's kind of like a wearing down of someone. So if you're having to wear someone down,
Right.
like how good can it really be if you're just wearing someone down's defenses?
Yeah, some people have that patience. It's like you got to keep watching them make mistakes
You think it
after
would work
mistakes with different men first. And then they're finally like, okay, you're the only one who's been consistent. Let's see.
Do you think it works out in the end, though? Someone is able to get out of the friend zone.
That's a toughie. I don't know. I want to.
If you had to put money on it, what would you say?
If I had to put money on it, nah.
Yeah, why?
Nah,
See, I
because,
got the truth out of her. She's trying to say she doesn't. I don't know. She's
because
trying
I
to be
feel
nice.
like if it took you that long to pay attention to that person, it's probably default. Like, like just like when I tell men, like, hey, like I'm not really looking for a relationship right now. Like, I feel like a lot of people miss that the silent with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think
that's the
they
way
missed
I
it. Is
interpret
it
it from experience. She's not looking for one with me.
Right,
But all of a sudden,
exactly.
another guy comes along. It's the perfect time in her life.
Exactly. And then most people really act like, it's first come, first serve. Like, yeah, just because you asked me last month, but clearly, like, it just wasn't what you do. Like, that happens a lot, though. It does.
Okay, so I know this podcast is turning into trying to find out what the dating is like from the female side. Oh, yeah, it's interesting to me because I only know the male perspective.
Right. It sucks.
One thing that I had to deal with a lot. Actually, I've got a new bit about this, but it's okay. I'm not going to give it away too much. Like when I was in the Philippines, I ended up getting a lot of respect for women.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I couldn't walk 10 feet without getting hit on by a gay guy. All right? So I was I was a real gay magnet down there. But so when that was happening, I was like, oh, this is what women have to go through.
Yeah.
And, there's
day.
an actual, skill in turning people down.
Mm-hmm.
And, but, being firm, but not being a dickhead about it.
Right.
All right.
And then that happens.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah. And then you get someone who really don't get the hint. Like, I remember one time I was at Bart and this really
Bart.
drunk
Oh,
guy.
yeah.
Right.
You're really going to trust someone that comes up to you at Bart. Right?
Right, I'm sitting there waiting for my bus. So it's not like I could really move from the location. And then the guy leans in my face to a point like I'm like leaning back with my book in my hand. And I'm like, I was like, can you move? He was like, how you doing? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. I'm
Is this
like,
inside the train itself?
no, this is outside.
Okay.
So then another guy came. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah.
He was like, hey, man, the bitch said she don't want to talk to you. Can you move? And I was like, he was like, oh, my bad. And I was like, I don't know how to feel right now. I'm like, but thank you, but fuck you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
he just called you
what
a
you
bitch.
mean?
Like-
But he backed off.
Yeah.
The other guy backed off. And then he apologized to me and walked off. But it's just like, it's really a regular thing. Like, especially, I guess it really depends on where you are, too. Because when I was younger, when Oakland was like really Oakland, they will walk you down some blocks.
Damn.
They will walk you down some blocks. And I'm like, I said, no, nigga.
I don't get that. They
don't care.
because for me, when I would go up to girls, when it's a no, yeah, just accept it and move on. You're not gonna do yourself any favor by keep on harassing her. You're only gonna look worse and worse in her eyes.
Right.
And it's not gonna work. Might as well save your dignity and move on, right? Why torture yourself?
Well, they
like
throw
that?
bottles in the end. That's why you ain't that cute. And then just throw it.
So,
I've had a bunch of Gatorade bottles. Gatorade was in that time.
it's still in. It's still in. That wasn't all peaks. You didn't have the zero sugar stuff yet, but it's still in. See, that's because that's something that doesn't really happen to guys.
Right.
That's something only like a woman can really Understand. Well, I would say that, let me be specific. That's something that only an attractive woman can really understand. Because you're not attractive. Ain't no guys going up to you either.
I don't know, because from what I hear, everybody struggles at least some.
They're lying to you. They're exaggerated. Oh yeah, that happens to me too all the time. Bull crap. Bullshit. They are lying. They are lying. Unless it's like
I've
2
never
a.m.
seen it.
at the club, closing time. The guy hasn't landed anyone yet. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe then. So you're talking like if someone's just going up to you in the middle of the day, no, it's not happening.
Because they can see your face in the
Yeah,
daylight.
exactly, yeah.
It's not like they have to walk out the club and be like, oh, no one wants to like come
sober. It's not happening. Let's just be real about it. But there is someone out there for everyone. But come on, ladies. There's ladies out there you're not getting hit on. It's really it's a particular experience for attractive women.
Yeah.
Obviously, what's attractive to people is, there's a spectrum.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But even though there's a spectrum, there's definitely a group of women who are outside of that spectrum. That still don't fit in there. You know who you are. I'm not going to name you.
Yeah. Yeah. No, what's funny is that when it comes, like, even though, like, that's an issue in the street, like, I've been doing, music videos, and I do.
What do you mean by that, real? Do you mean that
you're
in the videos and stuff? Are you singing, you're performing?
Well, I'm in videos.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like singing in studios, so I don't record.
Okay.
But, like doing music videos with people, doing skits with people, and then you get a lot of people, thank you, that approach you for the wrong things. And then it's been like really hard as far as, being in the entertainment business in general. As a female too, you're ready to sit there and punch some people. Sometimes I just I swear, if one more person.
So give me, because obviously it just doesn't happen to guys. Like, what's an example of something that's just really, crossing the line? And
what they do a lot is that just like the other day, I actually got a message from this guy, right? Like, I know he's been trying for some time, but he approached me saying, "Hey, I want to talk to you about doing a comedy night show." And I'm like, "You've never done it. Like, I know you've never done it."
Music room.
No, he don't do nothing.
He don't do nothing?
As far as I'm concerned. And then when I finally was like, "Okay, so when and where?" He was like, "Well, I was wondering if you knew." And they see that a lot of people use it as an opportunity to talk to you for whatever reason. Like the other day, I had to make sure that somebody contacted me about some skits, and I had to contact who he said he know personally. Like, hey, this person? Do he really do this? Because there's been so many times they're like, "Oh, we want to shoot skits. I want to do this," and then just like they be on some BS. They don't do it naturally, or like something like it's so annoying.
I wouldn't know. No one sliding into my DMs. I guess, like I said, I think that's a uniquely female experience. It's going to be exhausting. Huh?
It is.
Yeah.
It is exhausting.
Yeah. Listen
but
to
then
this girl.
sometimes
There's just so many coming at me. It's
so many.
Exhausting.
And you don't know what choices that you're making. And here it's good, if it's bad. Because some of them just sounds better than others.
Yeah, well, you know what? One thing I did want to ask you about, because it's another thing I have no experience on, is apparently you're a pretty big deal on TikTok, right? You got a pretty big following.
Yeah.
So how did what's the story behind it? How did that start out? What do you do on TikTok? Are you able to monetize it with a big following?
Well, I originally just saw the ad and I was like, "Oh, that looks cool."
An ad
and
for what?
at the time it was like more cosplay people, and then I was just like, "I want to try." And then it was like they had a bunch of like audios from like comedy, like scenes from places. So then I just started doing that, and then I
Where
had
you're lip syncing to the
all I do is
stand-up
lip
comedian.
syncing.
Okay.
Yeah. So then I started doing transforming videos, and then one of my videos went viral, and that got me like 11,000, and it just started going up from there, and now I'm at 178K. So yeah, I don't know. It just grew
What
on
are you
there.
able to do in terms of? I feel like with that following, you're able to monetize at that point, right? You have sponsors and things like that.
You know what's crazy? So they keep denying me for it.
Why?
Because they keep saying I keep violating the community guidelines, and I don't, but they kind of, I'm not trying to down talk TikTok, but they kind of downplay. It seemed like certain people, certain colors of people. And then so like once I got my following, it's like they started to get so strict on my stuff. And then I've seen people do some wild stuff and then they never get
But
their
what you-
videos taken
What
down.
you're doing specifically is just doing the lip sync with over.
It's just either lip sync. I might do like a joke, but it's nothing too wild. Like, just so that way I could stay in the guidelines. That they'll still take it down
Let me
sometimes.
ask you. Now you've been doing stand up for like what, a month and a half, 2 months at this point.
Yeah, I think 2 months.
How do you feel about that lip syncing now? Now that you're generating your own, stand up material.
I like it a lot more. As far as like putting it on camera, it's been hard for me to do like a quick 30-second to a minute to what I think is funny. So like for me to just be able to tell stories on stage is a whole new game. It feels very, very different. So I don't know. I like it. Like I fell in love with stand up.
Okay, well,
Like
let me ask the question again because I guess you misunderstood what I was trying to get at. Because there's definitely established stand-up comics out there like a Bert Kreischer. He doesn't like it when people lip sync over his comedy, his stand-up comedy, because hey, he's the one who created that,
Right.
that content. And now there are these people who are just taking that and just lip syncing over it and basically making money off of it or getting big on the content he created. So he's not even getting credit for it.
Oh,
so I'm
yeah.
saying now that you're doing stand-up yourself, do you see? Obviously, I don't think you see it in a different light, right? It's still like, how would you be cool if you saw someone lip syncing over your own stand-up bits?
So I don't know. I guess there's like a lot of there's pros and cons to it because that happens a lot with music too. Nobody really know where the music come from. They just know it's viral. And then the same thing with, his stand-up. The thing about it is like he's not getting credit for it. But when you go viral like that, you are being heard by way more people than you originally did. So I feel like also too is a way to get your comedy out there. But I get it. Like, you want your credit, but it's hard to get credit because you could get lost. Like I've done audios and then I thought that person was the original and it turns out they're not the original. And then sometimes like the audio just kicks the other person off and then make it yours. So I get it. Like, that's you getting up on stage and everything is super hard. So I see why he's like, look, man, I came up here and I did this joke and it hit. But taking credit away from it can be fun. But at the same time, he's being heard everywhere. So it's like a big pro and con to it.
So it's almost it's not a pure win-win situation, but it almost works out where everyone's basically getting something out of it.
Right, because people are going to be curious about where the audio come from.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that actually research and see, like, oh, where did this audio come from? And then they'll go find it. So, there's still benefits. Everybody won't do it, but there's a lot more people who will
Hey,
search
Lonnie,
it.
you can come in if you want to say no. We're just running a little bit late because this girl
I
over
ran
here,
late,
this girl's running late.
You're making me run late.
Yeah. What time is it right now?
All connected. 146.
1:46.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she
Okay.
was on time.
Yeah. You were on time.
I was on
the
CPT.
truth is, I put everyone's start time like 15 minutes before we'll actually start, just because I just don't know if everyone's gonna show up. So we're still good. I'll still get you out of here by 2:30.
Yeah, I just have to be in the city by 4:30.
Yeah. I don't know
yeah.
if you know, but Lonnie's a big deal these days.
Yeah, I know. I've been
She's
hearing
got
that.
3 shows today at Tiki Haven.
Oh.
Never been there before.
Yeah, Wally did that place.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Wally.
there's a lot of comedians that have. I haven't been there.
Yeah,
I seen Wally last night.
Oh yeah, did you go to the Felix Harry show last night?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I just went because Jerry told me to come,
Uh-huh.
and then I went to go to
Yeah,
check him
Jamar
out.
told me that you and Carlos were both there. So you know
Yeah.
Jerry Law too.
Yeah.
Wow, you are well connected for someone who's just starting out. You
Well,
kinda know
me and
everybody.
Jerry Long was already following on Facebook, and then when I did my first day, he came and found me,
Uh-huh.
and he was like, "Oh, we were already friends," and then he started putting me like, "I got a show with him next Saturday,"
Yeah.
and then and on the 5th too.
Yeah, it's kind of amazes me how. I mean, I know, I joke around with you and Carlos about it, right? How right from the beginning, everyone was showing this girl like so much love. I remember, yeah, you were there, Lottie, her first time, and
Yeah.
she murdered, right? Everyone's like high fiving her, and I'm like, hey, I opened the show, great. I set the tone. No one was high fiving me. It's like, come on, right? But everyone's going up this. Ooh. We were at Hometown Heroes the other week.
Yeah.
And she went on hella late, but still people are like high fiving her, just like random sex. I get no love is what I'm saying.
You do.
I'm sounding like Rodney Dangerfield. You got no respect. That's fine. No respect at all.
I love your stand-up.
No, I know, but it's like there's definitely like why do you think that is? You see it like there's something about you. People just seem to gravitate towards you. I don't think there's just like in people in general.
I think it's her voice. I think it's her. She's beautiful.
What do you mean by her voice?
She's got a great voice.
Do you mean the way it sounds or what she talks about?
The way she speaks.
I feel like I've been put on
Just
spot.
pull up the mic so people
Like,
can hear in the podcast.
I feel like I've been put on the spot.
Yeah. So just pull up the mic real quick. Sorry, you can maneuver the arm. That's fine. I think what you're adding to the conversation is really interesting. I want to just pull that mic up and just.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. No, I think that it's her voice. I think she has a beautiful voice. I think she's beautiful. You know, I don't want to sound crazy. You know, sex sells. I'm not saying that. You know, she doesn't have to be sexy, but it does.
Helps.
And there's actually a science. There's
maneuver that arm. You're not gonna break it.
Yeah.
It's maneuverable.
there's actually a science to beauty. You know, I've been a hairdresser for 20 years, and people like to be around beautiful people or people that they find attractive, whatever that is. You know, luckily people have different tastes, so it's not the same flavor, right? But there is, you know, symmetry. You know, Denzel Washington has the most symmetrical face. And I mean, she has a very symmetrical face too. You know, she's Liz Taylor is another famous person that is known for her facial symmetry, and so people are attracted to that. I'm not saying that she's not talented, because she is, and that's like the big cherry on top, right? It's not only that people like to listen to her and see her, but she's kind of hitting all your senses now, right? And
so
she's funny.
There's a lot of reasons, basically,
right, to like her. Yeah, absolutely.
So I guess here's the question then: do you think, in terms of the comedy world, a good-looking guy has the same benefits as a good-looking woman? I don't think it works the same way.
So wait.
Okay,
so
she's getting ready. She's just cleared her throat, she's putting her hair back.
I was talking to another comic about that, and he was talking to another comic who people actually find him attractive, and the comic said, I feel like they don't find me as funny because they feel like good-looking guys shouldn't be really funny like that. So now, when he said this to me, and then I'm just like, okay, we always go up with our makeup and everything, and I'm just like, should we not do that? Like, I don't know.
I think it works differently for women. If you're bringing all that whole package, like you were saying, it's just more reasons to like someone, right? And
I also think that I also feel that like sometimes if you look too good, it can just be distracting. Like nobody's hearing you because they're too busy. Like, oh my God, I love that outfit, you know, and like, you know, or that jacket, the shoes, you know, whatever.
When you were wearing that one outfit at Swing and Door, right? Your cleavage was showing. I'm sorry, Lottie, it's really distracting.
Right. Iman was like, put your mom titties away. And I'm like, why are you going to say that? Why are you going to say it to everybody? You know, it was funny. One time I walked out of a dance club. This is after I had kids. And, you know, I thought I looked pretty good, you know, but I had a jumpsuit on because I love jumpsuits. I'm wearing one right now. But I walk out of this club and there's like this crew of guys, right, hanging out by this car smoking. And they're like, look at that MILF. And I'm like, how the fuck did they know I have kids? I'm like, how do you guys know I have kids? And they're like, oh, we can tell. I mean, it was like, damn it. Is it that obvious?
No,
you know?
I don't think
but
they can tell.
knew.
I think they just assume at a certain age range you're probably a mom.
Right.
But come on, like you know, when you had your shirt unbuttoned like that at Swing and Door, you knew what you were doing.
Yeah, you know what? I like to feel sexy no matter where I'm at, any time of the day, anywhere I'm going. I mean, I like, you know, I wouldn't like rely on that. I don't rely on it. But if I'm going somewhere and I need to feel confident or I need to feel sexy for a reason, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe I'm not that day, you know, and to get up in front of people takes a lot. I think because it was an open mic and I know everybody there, I was a little bit more lax about that. I probably wouldn't do that at a bigger venue for a place that I'm getting paid to be. I wouldn't it's kind of sleazy, you know what I mean? And I don't need to do that. But there's a time and a place for everything, you know? And as a woman and as an older woman, and I am usually one of the oldest comedians, even on the scene, man or woman, a lot of the times. You know, there's a few guys that are older than me, but very few women that I see older than me that are performing at, you know, where I am. You know, I'm not saying there aren't older women. I just don't see them around very often. And I definitely don't see their sets.
Yeah. I'm going to take that mic back from Lonnie. Lonnie's kind of hijacking. I invited you. I know, I'm just teasing you. No, because I didn't want you just standing there. And you had a very good take on, you know, when we were just talking about why people seem to be just, you know, like flocking to Miss Ninja over here. And I think you made a very good point.
I mean, she's funny.
Because I know that's what's been hurting me. Is like I think I'm just a little too good looking, and that's why guys don't fuck with me. That's why I don't get booked. You know, these guys don't want to fuck with me. Who's this good looking guy? No, but I do get what you're saying. Like I know I have a bit about it, but I do believe that, you know, when you look good, you feel good, and when you feel good, well, that's when the magic happens because you're feeling confident, right? That's when your personality really shines.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean. Maybe I take it a little too far because I even do it for open mics because you know when I'm up there, I want to feel like comfy and confident. I want to just really be myself, right? Like just go up in sweatpants, you know, and a tank top, and it's like I don't know if I'm gonna have the same. Not at this stage, anyway. Who knows? Maybe years down the line.
And I feel like you like dressing up too.
Is it that obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
What makes it obvious? You used to super. Like I thought you were gay, bro.
I've never seen you not wear anything nice. Yeah. Like, you know, I could tell by the jackets that you wear. Let's say that, because there's some people that just, I don't know. I feel like you could tell the difference. People who don't really like to dress up a lot of times they just have like the hoodie and then they have that on with everything. But you know, you got the jackets that actually requires you to dress nice with it, especially your jean jacket with the
the Shepherd game,
that one, like you have to dress nice with those. With that jacket, you know, like you could wear something simple, but you know it would dress you up, and I could tell. And then I've never seen you with a bad haircut, so I know you be coming crispy.
So it's okay. So people do notice it then.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny that you think about it, right? The things people notice when you do, like even just open mics when you start going regularly. Like one thing, Wally actually mentioned, you know, Wally Hippolito is another comic. We were talking one night. Maybe I've been doing stand-up for a month at this point. And we were talking after Swinging Door there in San Mateo, and he just commented, oh man, it's kind of amazing. You know, you never look at your phone for notes or anything like that. It's like, oh wow, people are actually paying attention to things like that.
That's another thing too that I've noticed a lot of people. I can't do it. I've actually so funny. Okay, so the first time I did it, my first stand-up was really more like bullet points. And I'm like, if I say this, it'll be kind of funny. You know, let's just try it. That's my first set. I don't want to focus too much on it. When I did it, it turned out fine. After that, I think started.
It turned out more than fine. I've never seen anyone kill so hard for the first time.
I was surprised too.
It's my favorite.
Yeah,
that I've seen.
Actually, it's everybody's favorite so far. You
still captured like something special that night. It was like lightning in a bottle. It was like a Netflix special. It was on.
But then, like now, I gotta try to live up to that every time.
That's the problem, right? Because you started off on such a high.
Exactly.
And
so
there was an actual audience there.
Do you remember Tommy T's?
The second time?
Yes. Yeah. And I went home and I was ready to cry. Like. It was so different, and then I didn't understand the dynamics of what the audience feels like when it's all comedians, and like so I didn't understand what that looked like either. So it just like I was like, and then so the issue I had from that time, and I actually did it for like the next 3 sets or 4 sets or something like that. I was actually writing my jokes, like it was almost scripted. So what happens is the second I say something wrong, I'm thrown off, and then now I'm not delivering it as comfortable. So then like the last set I did in San Leandro, it was a show that I did for Jerry Law. He actually didn't perform that day. He was actually at the arena. But when I did it that day, that was the last time I did it. And I was like, what's the difference? And I was like, oh, I wrote my jokes, like almost scripted. So now I just kind of have bullet points. Like, I think I want to talk about this. I think I want to talk about this. And then just left it. Because most of the time, it is my stories. Like, as weird as these stories are, they are true stories. So it's like, like what am I even writing down my own stories for? So I just stopped doing it, and then now it's starting to pick up better again, and I'm just like, okay, I'm starting to get it.
You're telling me some guy really did want to wear your skin and all that.
Oh yeah.
Because I'm storytelling based as well, right? But I take something that's true and then I like twist it to make it work for stand up.
Yeah.
But you're saying that that actually happened.
Yeah, it's
to
a true
you.
story.
I don't know. That's we were talking about this earlier before. Like that's the kind of thing that only women would ever have to deal with. You don't get a lot of women. Like I know there's that movie, what's Fatal Attraction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it gets to that level. I mean, I had a stalker when I was a teenager, and she would like threaten to commit suicide. If I don't talk to her, or she'd say like sometimes she can't sleep at night, and she would walk like the 15-20 miles to my house and just kind of just be outside my window. But
That's creepy, man.
The way I took it is like, oh, this girl's really she's just being dramatic. She's just really trying to get me on the hook so that I don't leave. It's like I wasn't falling for it. I probably know she could be serious, but chances are she wasn't.
Yeah.
I just feel like, especially at that age, like the teenager like age, like, people get like so dramatic about relationships and things like that. Yeah,
right.
Well,
It's fine.
like,
Leave her ass outside.
She
She's outside.
I don't believe. Yeah, she wasn't gonna get in. No, but like I remember, like she would call me and like try to describe. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the knife right now and everything. Because I think she could kind of feel that I'm already like I had like one foot out the door. At this point, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm sure this sounds great. I just didn't take it seriously at all because I know it's like. This is just a tactic to try to get me to stick around.
But the thing about it is, though, like, she probably was for real.
Yeah.
Well, even if she was real, like
she probably was still a rookie at it,
like,
so she ain't killed you.
So when am I supposed to do that? Am I supposed to just become a slave to these
Hell
tactics?
no, ignore her.
Start to leave. I'm gonna stick around.
It's really not your problem.
Exactly. So
it's really not.
Yeah, that's why I said. That's why I just didn't take it serious. I was like, hey, you know what? It's not my responsibility.
Yeah. She just had to do that.
And she passed away 2 months later.
Oh my God! Our faces dropped. It was like, oh no.
No, but I feel like for the most part, women do get crazy, but like the serial killer kind of thing, that's mostly men.
Yeah, most of the time it is men, but there's some girls out there. It's just that a lot of times. Yeah, but see, there a lot of times though, there's a lot of women that actually acts like that, and then what they do, they call the cops on the man, like, as if he did something, and then they send him to jail. So nobody really knows until maybe 5 minutes, and the police is probably like, that's weird. Let's look at you. What's happening right now?
As a guy, that's why I feel like it's the better thing is just I'm just not gonna fuck with that. Move on.
Now, like when I date, the second I feel like you're some type of crazy, we're not gonna have sex.
Okay, so
there's no way.
Here's a question I want to ask, and Lonnie, I want you to answer this too. Something I always thought about when I was dating a lot before I met my wife. On a first date, do you feel that it has to go great in order to get a second date, or can it just be, all right?
I need it to be all right.
Just all right is good enough?
Well, okay, so as far as like intuition wise, if I feel okay with you, and that, because I don't need a lot to happen that day. Like we could go to Starbucks, but I need to be able to have some type of conversation with you. I need to like being in your space, and if it feels okay, then I'll see you again.
So let's say it's like a 7 out of 10 as far as how good it could have went. That's good enough.
That's okay.
Okay, what about you, Lonnie? It's put on like.
I have three minor requirements, and that's a valid driver's license, a home, and car insurance.
Well,
and if they have all of those, and a job, actually 4, and a job. And if they have all of those, then I'll go on a first date with them.
Okay.
And at that point, I'm just happy that they have a job, a home, a valid driver's license,
Okay, we're
and
gonna
a
talk
job.
about that in your episode. Coming
Yeah,
up, right?
yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
dive
that's
into that.
it. That's all I
Okay,
got.
but how about how it goes on that first date though? Does it need to be like a 9 out of 10?
Well, I haven't met anybody that has all those yet, but I want to be.
Okay, we're definitely let's save that. Let's save that.
That's hella funny.
those guys.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, I don't even know what to say to that. That's so funny.
Well, it's okay because I just finally started finding people that didn't have felonies and stuff. So it's new for me
Gotcha,
too.
man. Carlos, he seems like a
Yeah.
great guy.
And I was winging it that day. I was actually, me and him was just talking about it. I was like, the first time when we hung out, I didn't see it as a date. As a matter of fact, he was just a person that was sending me videos that was funny. And I was like, oh my God, this is hilarious. And then that was it. We did that for like 4 or 6 months straight. No conversation. And he was like, you want to kick it? And I was like, all right. Never looked at his Instagram to see what he looks like, no anything. And I was like, he's just, I was winging it that day. I was playing with my life, for real. Then so when he actually came to pick me up, then I got in the car and I was like, oh, dude, I thought you was Mexican because his name was Carlos.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm not Mexican at all. And I was like, what? So then I was like, okay, so now it's a date because you're actually cute. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a good. We've all seen him. He's a good looking guy.
Yeah. So and I was just like, okay. So then now I actually got lucky because he just happens to have all those things. I was winging it that day. I actually didn't go for as a date, but then just been cool since then. I don't know.
That's what they say all the time, though, right? It's like when you're not looking for it.
Yeah.
That's
Then
when
they
it
just
happens.
like.
But I remember when
it's
I was
cool.
single, and I was thinking about that. Well, I'm single. When am I not looking for it? I'm kind of looking for it all the time. So that's like the whole point of single. But the same thing happened with me and my wife. I was looking for her specifically. We met in college, and I didn't even consider her honestly. But somehow, some way or another, we just kind of started. Actually, what happened was, so we were taking Japanese class in the Philippines, and at the end of the semester, we had to put together some sort of like variety sketch show. And then it's because that my background was theater. I used to write and direct and act, so I took care of everything, and then I casted her in her part, and we were rehearsing. And then the night of the performance, she actually messed up and forgot her lines, and this is all in Japanese. So she just started making up Japanese words, right? And I'm supposed to respond to it. It's like,
Look, what are you saying to me right now?
at the after party, she came up to me and apologized, and that's how everything started. So I wasn't looking at for her specifically, but it's like,
But it just fell into place.
Yeah, it just fell into place. Yeah.
And that's a blessing. Like, like I don't know how long me and Carlos supposed to last, but it's like everything, I don't know. It's been cool so far.
No, I definitely. I definitely feel lucky with Chris.
Yeah.
I mean, she's really lucky too. If I have to be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
'Cause,
I'm looking at her right now.
She is right there
She's
playing.
really cute.
She's
Oh, she is. Yeah,
Hella.
well,
So cute. She looks like a little doll.
yeah.
and her
no,
eyes
those
hella big.
eyes,
She's
yeah,
like, hi.
yeah.
Yeah, you said that resist looking at him. I feel like she's looking at me, and I'm like, girl, look, you married now.
But one of the funny things, she's gonna hate this when I say it, but this is 100% true. I'm not making it up. Because I was the older man, because I went to college. I finished my degree in the Philippines, and over there at that time, there's no junior high. So when kids enter college, they start at 16 years old.
Oh, wow.
And then 20. And she was like in the older range. She was 20 years old when I met her, and I was 26. Right, so I was like basically a professor in their eyes. But apparently, because there, you wouldn't register online, right? You would register in person. So I would wait in line to register for a class in person, and then they would ask me how to register, like because they thought I was the damn professor. I was like, I'm just a student like you. I'm trying to get in this class, but apparently she had a crush on me for quite a while. Like she would even she had been like having because she's really into anime, and there's this thing that happens in anime where the girl kind of rests her head on the guy's back and everything. She was telling me she was like having fantasies like that because I was in really good.
That's a really clean.
It's
picture.
a very I know, right?
No. I was in really good shape. This is before the long-term relationship. I was in amazing shape. I had a lot of time to work out. I was in my 20s. I was in great shape.
So you was like,
Yeah. So
okay.
but so that's I kind of joke around with her. It's like, how lucky you are. Your fantasies came true to me. It's like you're living your fantasy right
Especially anime. That is anime love right there.
Yeah,
All they
yeah.
do is fantasize for a long
Yeah,
time, and they finally get the
exactly.
guy, and then
now. Yeah, it's all about
ta-da.
love from a distance.
Now
right?
she got
Yeah.
a skinny version of the
Yeah.
fantasy that she originally started.
Not at first. At first, I was ripped.
If the only thing I was doing was fantasizing about placing my back on somebody's head, I could do that in a bar, like any bar. Like I wouldn't be shy to do that. I mean, that's so clean.
But I think that's the difference between like what I've noticed with Asian cultures. So my stepbrothers and his the family friends came out here. So funny. I took them to an Oakland club because I thought it would be a very nice
Talking about the
culture
compound?
shock like a motherfucker.
The compound.
No, I took them to a club,
Oh,
like,
okay.
and then this is, you know, they were still shooting in the New Caribbean and stuff. So we took them, and then I was like, "You want to go to the after hours?" My cousin was like, "Do you want to take them?" And I was like, "We'll see what happens."
Yeah, it's a
So
good
you know,
experience.
when they went there, they got so many dances. Like I guess the girls were obsessed with these guys who's clearly foreign, and so they were just, you know, just going in. And then he was like, "American girls just come up to you," and I was like,
Are these your Japanese?
yeah. So they still live in Japan. And I said, well, what do you guys do? He said, well, we just watch for a while. So I guess how they do it in anime is like really real. And then we watch for a while and then see, you know, how you are. And then we like kind of slowly start making our approach. And I said, bro, like you'll miss everybody here. And I was like, that's why out here, you know, we're like, hey, you're here.
Right.
Like, you know, it's the moment, you know, now we'll see how it happens. So I can see why, like, that's the moment where like touching hands is like, oh my God, skip a heartbeat, you know, type of moment. I understand it now. When I went out there, I was like, yeah, I don't know how I survived that long. Like if there was boys that had crushes on me, I wouldn't know.
Well,
Because
you know,
the whole-
apparently, I don't know if this is still true, but I think, see, how old am I now? This is 15 years ago. It's probably not true anymore, but the shyness problem from like men asking out women in Japan, it got so bad that it got to the point that it became the norm for a woman to ask guys out because the guys would never make a move. And when I heard about that, I just thought, oh man, these Japanese guys are so brilliant. They probably got together and just formed this. We're never gonna make a move. We'll just make them ask us out. This is amazing. Yeah. Just form an alliance.
it's working because they came out with White Day.
Yeah. So it's brilliant.
Yeah. White Day is no. In case y'all wonder, she's white, so she was confused.
Yeah.
White Day is it's Valentine's Day, but is boys give out chocolates to the girls, or is the girls ask the dudes out? But it is like opposites. They have Valentine's Day and then they have White Day.
Oh, so it's like Sadie Hawkins then. You remember Sadie Hawkins?
Yeah.
I heard it, but I just never knew
You
what
guys
that was.
never knew that. So it's when the girl asked the guy out to the dance.
And
And then
never
you
had
usually
it.
buy, yeah,
This
you're going to
yogurt.
get that too, Lonnie. And then you can order your drink as well.
Right now?
Yeah, if you want, you can tell Vince over there. Vince is nice. Oh, no, but yeah, Sadie Hawkins is where, you know, the girl asks the guy to the dance. And then usually the girl gives you money to go buy matching t-shirts that you wear to the dance. And you get your
Aw.
picture taken and everything.
Yeah, they didn't have that.
Yeah.
By the time I went to high school, I was just like, I'm going, so I'll see y'all there. I didn't like dates.
No?
They be all up on you the whole time.
I guess,
Get
like,
off me,
it's really,
cuz.
it's a really different experience for guys and girls as well.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like so fascinated by it because I've only ever had the one perspective in my life, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
guess.
shit.
Let me ask you, would you be concerned if you had to go on BART or take the bus at night by yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a real concern, huh?
Like, it's not really that I get super concerned, but it is not fun.
It's
Like
in the back of your
I
mind.
keep something on me every time I
What do
go.
you keep on you?
Like either I used to have this little cat that goes on a keychain. It looks like a cat, but what it is actually a knuckle brace, and then the ears are actually it'll tell you
Oh,
up.
wow,
And then I have a baton now,
Okay.
so I just keep that with me.
That extends?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Just crack.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's sweet.
So
Wow.
I have a car, so now I don't have to worry about it. But you know, I've never felt uncomfortable, mainly because I was always in like Oakland, and then like I would walk down Fruitvale, and then it was always somebody like, "Hey, how much for blah, 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 blah."
Oh,
And I'm like, dude, I'm like in full work clothes that's so big, but they don't care. But it's like, and then there was a time where I had to catch the bus all the time around like 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. and I'd be pregnant. But it was during the time when they had this gang, I guess, or group that was called STIs, and they were everywhere. You know what I mean? And they were people that jump people for no reason. They just rob people all the time. I used to date one. Actually, I think I dated two. I don't know what's wrong with me, but
well, we established you're not the problem,
right? Exactly. But yeah, like, so I'm never like too afraid to really go anywhere, but it is a little annoying that I can't go somewhere and be comfortable. And because nothing has happened to me yet so far, but I know as soon as something does, now I'm going to be like, I'm scared of that. I'm scared of being uncomfortable one day because something does happen. And now I'm going to be paranoid to do that one thing forever. Like, I don't like that idea.
Because I have like a extensive martial arts background and self-defense. And that is, in terms of self-defense, especially for women, that is kind of one of the things that usually, because you can tell when something's up, but people are afraid to appear rude. Right, and usually if it's just because you don't want to appear rude, you end up getting attacked or whatever. Right. So yeah, that's why I try to encourage women: don't worry about being rude. It's better to be safe than sorry, and trust your gut, trust your instinct. Yeah, because there's like video after video after video where you can see the woman's, you can see like she's already feeling something's up, but they don't want to be rude. They don't want to. Oh, what if this guy really doesn't intend to do anything? I'm gonna be embarrassed, and then boom, 5 seconds later. Yeah.
So first thing, like what I do if I feel like, they're like that it feels like they're about to start causing problems, I just start yelling at them because that way it's not really because of them, but it's really so that way I have other people's attention. Like, hey, this person is messing with me.
So what would you say? Like, what would you yell?
Oh, I'll be cussing them out for sure. Yeah, hands down.
Because they're already trying to say something to you at that point.
Right, but then I'm like, while I'm yelling at them, I'll be like, hey, I already told you to get away from me, but you're not getting away from me, smart. And I'm gonna have to stab you now.
You got a lot of street smarts. I don't know about that last part. No, but
self-defense.
Yeah, because it's not self-defense when you say I'm gonna stab you. See if you left that part out.
Oh, really?
You end up stabbing him. Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, no, you can't say that you're gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
But what you're doing is right by establishing, hey,
I keep that in mind next time I do it.
Yeah, but if you actually attack, because you know what the actual law is something people don't realize about self-defense. If at any point you have an opportunity to run away, and you don't take it, then it's not self-defense. It doesn't matter if he's up on you. But if at some point you had a chance to run away and you didn't take that opportunity,
I learned that the hard way too. I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
So I learned that when I didn't know that until I had to go to court for one of my ex-boyfriends, and they kept asking me like, okay, well, did you ever take the opportunity to leave? Did you ever take the opportunity to try to get out of the car? And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, CIRS. I'm like, what that mean? Like, what? But then it does make sense because now that you're saying that, because what I tried to do to try to avoid the situation, like they really try to sit there count that on you. That's terrible.
Yeah. So I'm gonna end it because I had a podcast before this and it would go on for 2 hours, which I actually prefer. I just like letting conversations flow, but I'm trying to keep these to be more digestible and not to take up too many people's time. So I'm gonna end it on a high note when we're talking about stuff.
Indeed.
But Miss Ninja, so how can people find out where you're gonna be doing stand up next, or what do you want people to
I haven't really been posting them, but
just like I guess your TikTok in general, then that's where it's at for you.
Actually, it's on. I post most of my stand up stuff like on Instagram.
Well, what do you want people? You can plug both your Instagram and your TikTok.
Okay. Well, my Instagram and my TikTok are both miss.ninjasama, JASAMA.
Yeah, I'll put it down here. But yeah, for those who are just listening and not watching on YouTube,
Oh yeah. So yeah, that would be that's the way people can find me.
All right, cool. Thanks for being on.
Yeah,
It was awesome. I know. I could talk to everyone all day long. That's just my nature. But
that's the only thing about podcasts.
You have to keep it. Like,
it's hard
more digestible.
To like.
Yeah,
ooh, can you do one with everybody one day? We should have like a group.
Well,
one.
yeah,
those are hard, but
no, there was like a magic number. Like maybe it could have like a total of 4 because it gets to the point where everyone's just talking over each other. It's gonna be hard to follow. Like this was cool. Obviously, ideally, I would have had a separate mic for you. We made it work, and I still got you in here. Okay, babe, I'm gonna do Lonnie's episode. That's
all right,
Thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.